Hello, hello, hello. So happy to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for subscribing. And I'm so excited to see all the comments I've been seeing. It's very great to see them and people interacting with each other. So that's always nice to see on the page. And welcome to the new subscribers. Please share, like, comment, continue to comment, subscribe, play, and replay. Everything is appreciated so much. And this is a season to be thankful. So anyway, we're continuing the Bachelor casting process in this video. This is video number 2. As you know, we took a little break covering some other Bachelor news that I thought was worthy of mentioning, and you can catch those videos on the page. So let's get started. So regarding my experience at the Bachelor casting process, my experience entailed me traveling into the nearest city where the process was. And, you know, they seem to have it, I'm not exactly sure if there's a science to this, but they seem to have it in, say, like maybe 1 or 2 places in the Midwest, maybe 1 or 2 places in the Northeast, maybe, you know, a few places, you know, on the West Coast or whatever. So they seem to have a few different places. As you know, Colton is the Bachelor. I did not know he was the Bachelor at the time because he had not yet been publicly announced to be the Bachelor. So, you know, everyone who was still wondering who the Bachelor would be. So like I said, when I am a very social person, usually I will, you know, chat up the people around me. So that's exactly what I did. We saw lots of different people online. Like I said, there are long lines. So I had heels on. I like wearing heels, prefer to wear heels. I would definitely recommend wearing a very comfortable pair of heels because you do not know how long you're going to be waiting online. Some people have flats on. Just be yourself. If you normally wear flats, wear flats. If you normally wear heels, but make sure they're comfortable. Also, I would definitely recommend, these are just some, you know, little details. If it's hot outside, make sure you're putting some setting spray on because it gets really hot. And you might be sweating, blah, blah, blah. Bring some water for yourself because I remember at this process, there was not any like water. They did provide some bite-sized candies on the inside, and I'm sure there was a water fountain, but actually later, when we were standing online, someone did come around and give us like bottles of water. So water was provided. But when you're outside and you're not yet inside, you definitely should stay hydrated. Also, you'll see some people, sometimes there are people with cameras. I'm not sure if they're like documenting it for a particular show or just for their own purposes. But sometimes you'll see cameramen just getting some shots of the line and that sort of thing. So definitely, you know, if you're camera shy, you might want to turn your head away. But remember, if you're chosen, you're going to be on camera all the time. So just keep that in mind. I, you know, spoke with a few of the ladies online. One of the ladies, I did not get her contact information. So I'm not sure if she would be chosen, but she definitely had a photogenic look and she definitely had a unique look in that she had red hair. And I definitely think that is something that'll keep you standing out for this process because the more unique your look is and the more you stand out, you'll definitely get noticed or remembered. So that's just something that I definitely think. I also think it's, you know, one of those things where you just have to be yourself, the best version of yourself. And so that was my experience. Just the people that I met there seemed friendly. You know, I think if you come with positive energy, you know, will probably tend to gravitate toward those with positive energy anyway, most likely. So the people that I encountered, they all seem, you know, nice. And it's just a nice opportunity to chat and get to know some people online. My experience was that, again, the lines were very, very long. And so just be prepared for that. The interview experience that I had was good. I do think that I wish that I knew what sort of questions they were asking before the interview. My experience was, I remember when they were asking, you know, I don't know, your last relationship. They also asked me what I did for a living. I was like, I made a joke. I was like, I have 10 jobs, you know, I do this, I do that. But I'm not sure if that went over well, but it was kind of funny. And I wish that I could like be like, oh, can you just rewind that? Can I see how I come across as this on my good side? You know, it's one of those things where there's a lot of things running in your mind. You're like, oh, is this my good side? Like, oh, is this, or I mean, maybe both sides are good, whatever. Even with the pictures, my experience was, I wish that prior to the interview, you take the pictures. I wish that I asked the guy to see the picture after I took them, or just had brought some headshots with me, because I'm not sure. You can always ask before, or I mean, if you're in contact with someone, but you know, you can bring them and ask them if you can just give them the your headshots, because I think that if you have some pictures, I'm sure they'll be fine of just, you know, including that in an application and stapling it to it, because you just don't know how your pictures are turning out. And then if you're not taking a good picture for some reason, or the lighting's not great, and then you go into your interview and you're not really self-aware of how you're looking on camera, I don't know if that's really a good combination. So in all honesty, like, I believe that, I'm not sure how my pictures turn out. Usually I'm very photogenic, but who knows? I'm not sure how I looked on camera. You know, you just don't know. So it's always good to have your, and I'll get into more of this on my third video, but it's always good to have a mirror and just kind of being a little self-aware of the correct angles and that sort of thing. That'll really help you. I'll get into more of that in the next video. But my experience overall was pretty good. I did meet some people. You never know, they may be on the show. I remember one girl I met, we connected on Instagram, and the next thing you know, she wasn't on Instagram anymore. So I was like, that's kind of odd. Where did she go? Did she stop being on Instagram? Is she not there anymore? Maybe she's on the show and wanted to rebrand herself. Who knows? So as I was saying, who knows if I'll see some of those ladies on the show. That'll be quite interesting. I did get an IG friend request. I did not know exactly who it was, so it was probably the same girl who now has an official IG page. So she might be on the season, who knows. But I don't think this would have been a good fit for me. So you know, Colton is younger, 26, than most of the bachelors that I believe have ever been on there. Usually they're like 28, maybe 30. I think he's still 26. So being that he's younger than most of the bachelors, I just feel like, I think that an older bachelor is better for the show. So at the end of the day, I don't know if this would have, you know, Colton is, I don't know if this is going to be a successful season. Okay, I'm kind of going off topic a little bit, but let's just go with it for a couple. I don't know if this is going to be a good season or not, guys. Like, maybe if they caught him at 28, 30, and I'm not saying that younger bachelors on the show can't be successful, but he has a lot going against him. We know his history with Tia. We know his history with Becca. And I am just I'm not holding my breath on this one. We also know what's been going on with some of these couples. They're like not getting married because their engagements are very long. You know, they're starting families, they're starting shows, they're doing everything but getting married. They're moving into with each other. So I just hope that all the remaining couples seriously do get married. I'm not going to go into a long segue about that, but I do hope that they do get married and solidify it, because they did find each other on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. And I really do hope that they all make it down the aisle, and even if they don't have a wedding, you know, just get married, you know, because it just seems like, as we saw, and as you see in my last video about the breakup with, what's her name? You know what I'm talking about? Sean and the K name. Is her name Caitlin? Sorry. Oh gosh. But anyway, they were together for like over 3 years. Okay, I'm not going to re-record the last video, but what I'm saying is, I hope that all these couples make it true. So when I think about the end result of these couples, and I think about Colton as the Bachelor, I am thinking, I really hope true love and commitment prevail in this case. I don't know if it will, because it just seems like, but at the same time, one can argue that the fact that he didn't get it right with Tia, he didn't get it right with Becca, makes him more ready to actually choose the woman he's supposed to be with. But again, I don't know. But back to my experience. So like I said, overall, I did connect with some of the ladies there and fall out of contact with some as well. Who knows if I'll see them on camera and in the Bachelor Mansion. That is yet to be seen, and I'll definitely let you guys know if I do. But it was a good experience. I did it because I said, why not? I didn't know who was going to be the Bachelor. Who knows who it could have been? There were some good candidates that they could have other bachelors they could have chosen from. Some that come to mind are Wells, Blake, was Blake one? Blake, where people were talking about. Who was the other guy? I don't know. Put it in the comments. I forget these people's names, in all honesty, right now. But there could have been someone else. But I just figured, you know what? I am open to however love comes, and it's just a good experience to go through. Obviously, I can tell you guys how it went, and I would recommend it. You know, there's so many people who go there. Again, you have to stick out. You have to almost be a good match for that person as well. And I believe the producers and whoever picks the people, the ladies, they are all looking at that. But at the end of the day, you know, I think the person he'll probably choose will be like 21 or something, in all honesty. I don't know, because he's 26. I don't know. He's 26. He's kind of young too. And the way that I feel the engagements are going, they can last like 5 years on this from the people who come off of the show. So, you know, if he picks someone who's like 21 or 22, then by the time they actually do get married, she'll be like 27, 28, and then she'll be ready, you know, potentially more so for children and stuff. But if people are on the show who are like 25 and up, no offense, like I'm not saying that, you know, they shouldn't be on the show. I'm just saying, if you're on the show, if you're 25, and you know, do you really want to stay engaged for like 3 to 5 years? I don't think so. I mean, at any age, do you really want to stay engaged for 3 to 5 years? But anyway, so I'm glad that I went through the experience. I may be leaving some things out, and I did kind of overlap on the next video, giving some pointers in this video. But like I said, next video is going to be covering, actually, I'll put it in the description what next video is going to be covering. I know I mentioned it in the first video, but I hope you enjoyed this video. That was my experience. You know, you just need to know yourself for the interview process. You need to know, and these are, again, this is going into the third video, but you need to know yourself for the interview process. You need to know your angles, what, you know, and even bring a picture, you know, so that you can have a little bit of an edge. And if you have a little bit of an edgy look as well, or unique look, I should say, then that'll also make you stick out because you're not looking like everyone else in the crowd. There were a lot of, let's see. I mean, it was a kind of like a diverse bunch of people, but there were, I mean, not really. I mean, I don't know. If you want more about the demographics, ask me in the comment section. But I mean, you know, it's The Bachelor, so you have to think about you know, who watches The Bachelor. I enjoy watching it because I think it's, you know, fun entertainment. And anyway, thanks for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it. And until next video, bye.